Brandon's gym in Columbus, Ohio, and I want to talk about, BJJ clubs that try to offer striking. The big difference between my club is that, I've got a legitimate striking background and good training to offer the folks, in addition to being a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I think a lot of competitors want to, just offer some kind of striking program so that they can be in the same business, or so that, you can't market on that. But really, what they're really offering is a badge striking program. And I'm going to tell you some of the things of how you know a badge striking program is a badge striking program. For me, I was involved in a couple of badge striking programs before I found a quality one. It's something I don't want for my people. I'm happy to give them quality training from day one, but it's very prevalent, and I'd say it's more often than not, at least when I look at the people around me. Some of the things you can tell, I've got a list, but basically one side is it doesn't cost extra. If you just come in and you don't have to pay more for that training, that should be a red flag to you. That brings me to the second thing on the list. A lot of times they're run by just a random person in the BJJ club. Maybe you've got a dude who's you have a person who might be a blue belt or a purple belt or something. They're just a regular BJJ practitioner, and then we're supposed to believe they're the striking expert. Maybe there's somebody that's done a little and they just want to pop up a program so that the gym can offer that and market around it, and it's really not that good. So, those are two easy things. It doesn't cost extra, and it's run by just a random person in the gym. A lot of times, like I said, that's why it doesn't cost extra. It's just, it's basically not worth paying for. The third one I have, and it goes for, striking, BJJ, you name it. They're teaching made-up techniques. A lot of times you get a person out there, and they just want to show something. They think they have to originate material, so they have things that are made up. I got a good buddy of mine, Bad Wolf MMA. You can find him on YouTube as well. So a lot of times we share back and forth bad technique videos, just for our amusement and to kind of look at industry practices. You see these, a guy trying to counter a double leg by grabbing a Kimura and rolling for it, just something that nobody that ever wrestled would do. So it's the same thing with striking. If you see somebody offering stuff that's made up, that's a big sign. Okay, one of our other favorites here is the Muay Thai. A lot of these programs that you see run out of a BJJ club that are badge striking programs, it's always Muay Thai. Muay Thai is a great thing, and it's done by people who live in Thailand. There are some here in the United States that I would venture to say I think most of them are bogus. It's just, these people have never been to Thailand. I don't know that they really understand that system, and that's what they're promoting. So anytime I hear Muay Thai, the bells in my head are going off, and I'm looking for, what I think is a badge striking program. Now, another thing that's a key trait of those Muay Thai programs is if I walk in the door, I can tell right away you're going to have people with gloves and shin guards on, and but instead of headgear, gloves, and boxing or wrestling shoes. A good quality program, you're going to come in, you're going to have headgear on for everybody. You're going to have gloves on, and they're going to have shoes, right? If I'm working on the things that are really important, like footwork, moving around well, I'm going to have shoes on. I don't know why people see MMA in a cage without shoes, so they think that's how they need to train. But the best people in the world are using shoes. If you watch a Floyd Mayweather video, he's got headgear on every time without fail. Obviously gloves and shoes. So if I walk in the door of somebody's BJJ club and I see gloves and shin guards and no headgear on anybody, I'm immediately suspecting a badge striking program. A lot of people say, I don't fight with the headgear, so I'm not gonna wear the headgear. And it's totally stupid. That's a dumb argument, along with the it makes my head a bigger target kind of thing. luckily I had the good influences in my training at a point to tell me, look dummy, the reason you're wearing the headgear isn't because, it's not because you're not tough or you're not going to fight with the headgear on, it's because your body is the investment. So if you're in the gym sparring and then you catch a cut on your eyebrow or your cheek or somewhere else, that's something that if you are a prize fighter, that's something you're going to have to worry about opening up on you in the middle of a fight. Maybe you're fighting for money. You want to win and your fight gets stopped because of that, and so you just don't want that. It's damage that you don't need, and a good program uses gloves, of course, but headgear and shoes. So finally, one of the last things I want to say is, if you walk in and you see everything's punches and kicks together, in a bad striking program, they'll bring a dude in off the street, and the first thing you did is, you're going to have them doing 1-2 and a kick on day one, right? Well, sadly, when you walk in off the street in this kind of program, there's so much that you don't know how to do, right? Just punches alone are very difficult to get someone to do correctly. So if I bring someone in off the street and I have them doing punches and kicks right away, I just know it's going to be a mess, right? I can't learn every position on the football field, at once, right? Maybe a guy's a cornerback and he can cross over and play safety, something like that. He's not playing, all the positions on the field, if that makes sense. So if you're getting punches and kicks together, that's bad. What's good is what I do here, and it's what I learned to do in a quality program, is we're working on footwork, defense, and then punching, right? So we've got all of our footwork drills, we've got all of our head movement drills, we've got blocking and slipping, and we're doing all that, and then maybe we sprinkle in some punches. Once we get all that working together nicely, then we can think about some kicks. If we do we come in, we might work out for an hour, maybe the last 5 or 10 minutes we work on the kicks. But the meat and potatoes of the program is what I told you. Slipping, defense, footwork, and then maybe a little bit of kicking at the end. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helps clarify what makes a good program from a bad program. This is not just a program of all these things thrown together with none of them being good, or just a program that a striking program that we offer just so we can say we offer it. That's not what I have here, and it's what you should be looking out for if you really want to train striking by itself or along with your grappling practice. So if you've got questions, put them down at the bottom. Comment on the video. Obviously, always subscribe and all that stuff. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys later.